Okay,
Mhm.
Owen, today we are here with Owen McGovern. We're going to talk to him about his business, BioOne Eugene, and I'll let him tell us all about himself. Maybe tell us a little bit about where you're from, what you've done, and then describe your business.
Okay, real quick. Born in Brooklyn, New York, raised in Breezy Point, New York, and Yonkers, New York. Background, I was a 1994 graduate of Marist College in Poughkeepsie, New York. Did 5 years with the Marine Corps Reserve. After college, worked a paralegal and then worked for Morgan Stanley while waiting to get hired by the FDNY. I was an FDNY firefighter for 21 plus years. Segued into a Eugene Springfield firefighter for 2 years, and then purchased the franchise BioOne Eugene.
And what made you decide to go into this type of business?
After over 23 years of being a professional firefighter, numerous years as a paramedic, it was time to kind of branch out on my own and kind of claim something as this is mine.
Awesome. So how did you get the background to run a business like this?
Learning to run, I'm still learning to run the business. In 2001, early 2001, I transferred to what's called Squad Company 41 in the South Bronx. So as a squad company, all squad members get trained at what's called a hazardous material technician level 2. And they work as part of New York City's Special Operations Command and in conjunction with the hazardous material battalion. And we work as part of the decontamination and mitigation units, covering the whole city. And they had over 16 years of experience in that field, covering, our primary duty was firefighting and emergencies, and then tertiary was the hazardous material. But that also has become very relevant lately. And so, 16 years of training, went out of state for training, helped on the post 9/11 anthrax scares, 2014, 2015 Ebola scares. So a lot of background in it. And then I ended up being headhunted for BioOne Eugene.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yep.
So how long has your business been in business?
BioOne Eugene opened their doors December 1st of 2019.
Okay. And then how do you market your business?
Through the franchise, we have search engine optimization and also Google AdWords support, and they actually do a very good job with that. But a lot of the marketing is on myself. I call it, instead of cold calling, I call it cold knocking. I make a list of property managers, real estate agents, insurance agents, anyone who deals with any type of property, even home inspectors, pest control people, and I make a list each day, and I have a folder, rack cards, notepads, some swag, and I go out literally and knock on doors. That's where I'm doing right now. And I know I need to get a little bit more advanced in that, because I've only gotten 2 jobs that way. Everything else has been through Google AdWords.
So how is Google AdWords? I mean, what is it keeping you busy? Is it?
It's expensive. I'll start with that. But it actually has been keeping me placed number 1 on certain type of searches. And I've gotten, like I said, almost all of my all my inquiries, all my bids, and all my jobs have almost exclusively been through Google AdWords. And what they do is they just place you when people put in something like fire hazard mitigation, rodent feces mitigation. When they put that thing near me into it, I come up first.
Okay, cool. That's good to know. It's good to know where to focus your time and effort when you have a small business. It's really important.
Yeah.
Especially right now.
Right.
So where do you see your business in a year from now?
Hopefully, the term is I'm out of the suit. Right now, I'm still actually physically working on the scenes. I'm in the process of making somebody my first not full-time, but full employee. Then I send him to the franchise training in Denver. And once he does that training, I can solely concentrate on marketing. And then he's technically qualified to run the jobs. And he'll know all the safety protocols, all the training protocols, and how we're trained to do the operations level. And then I can concentrate on marketing, follow-ups, and doing presentations. And then my eventual goal is to get a crew, if I have the patience and wherewithal, to get a crew in Bend and a crew in Medford.
Oh, awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
Bend is a great place to visit. So you'll have to
Yes.
go over there and check them out a lot.
Yes. Yes.
So you have one employee right now, and
Correct.
do you see that growing over the next year? What does that look like for you?
Over the next year, it's probably be concentrating on getting the business off the ground and keeping my steady pool of guys I've been using as, for lack of a better term, day labor. And if I can get within a year a second employee, that would be awesome. That would be great.
Excellent. So describe a customer.
Customer is pretty much anybody, anyone who manages, lives, anything to do with any place anyone puts their heads or own a building. But my typical customer so far has been individual homeowners. My number one call has been for rodent feces removal. After the pest control people remediate the removal, not the removal, but the killing basically of the rodents and things of that nature. You know, they love to live in insulation and poop and pee everywhere. Well, that's where I come in. I take it all out, clean everything, disinfect, decon everything, and then if need be, strike a deal where I'll do the reinstallation of the insulation as well. The gold standard for me is to get involved with the police departments and their detective squads and have them starting handing me out as referrals. I've had so far one just Sunday, yesterday alone, I had a referral from the Lane County Sheriff's Office for biohazard remediation from a civilian who just happened to be in the wrong place, wrong time, and the suspect was shot and his car got blood on it, and so I mitigated the car. And so that's my gold standard, is to get in with them so I can get more of the crime scene, trauma, unattended death scenes, because those are the higher dollar calls for me because they go through insurance. Once I go through insurance, I'm able to do certain pricing models, but if it's not through insurance, I have to negotiate and work with the client.
Wow. Yeah, I love the way your mind works though, because I'm sitting here thinking I'm writing down like names because I'm like, oh, I can refer him to her and him.
Right.
And so
Right.
that's exciting. And just,
Yep.
Just the way that you're thinking about it, it's just amazing. So who are your competitors? Do you know who your competitors are?
I would say my number one head competitor in the region, it would be ServPro. ServPro, their main office I should say their local office is based out of Roseburg. My primary niche is unattended death, crime scene, and trauma mitigation. Their primary niche is fire and flood restoration.
Right.
But they also, when you look on their website, fifth or sixth down the line, they'll do what I do. Same thing with ServiceMaster out of Corvallis. ServiceMaster does what's called content cleaning. That's their main niche. But fifth or sixth down the line, they'll do what I do. Through a contact of mine, I reached out to the man who handles Eugene, asking, hey, I would like to set up a meeting with you. Hey, let's work together, because I'm in people's houses. Just an example, I was in Florence, and I did a hoarding job, and then now she needs water remediation. So when I started business and reached out to him, I was, strongly rebuffed, but I still gave him as a referral because I would rather work with them than against them. But they would probably be my number one competition. In Springfield itself is an organization called Northwest Hazmat. They have one guy who will go out with a truck and do, like business owners will have problems with the homeless camps, leaving their presence in front of their business. He'll go out by himself and clean that up. I don't really see that as competition, but it is. I mean, because I can do it, I'll just do it differently. But Northwest Hazmat, their primary focus is on hazardous material training, large-scale mitigation, such as, say, a rollover on I-5 where the saddle tanks of a tractor trailer need to be mitigated, or some sort of commercial spill. And because Northwest Hazmat deals a lot with the Eugene Springfield Fire Department. So I don't really view him as a mom and pop competitor. It's definitely ServPro is probably my number one competitor.
Okay. So Are there any ethical concerns in your industry?
Yes, I would say there are, because you're dealing with people who are in emotional crisis, specifically if it's unattended deaths, trauma, suicide, mediation. So you want to treat them professionally, you want to treat them respectfully, and you're basically there to help them out. And you want to do what's best for them, because they're the ones who have to move back into that house or apartment or whatever the case may be. And you want to make sure that it's out of their hands. You take the stress away from them. But also you have to understand that you don't want to hammer. I mean, a lot of times, even though I'm going through insurance, you still want to hammer people over the head with a bill. So you sometimes people don't have insurance, and so it has to be a direct payment. And then you have to do a negotiation thing, because there are nationally, the number one competition nationally is a company called Aftermath. And through our research, and I'm not going to try to go too much into it, but they go in and then they hit all their buttons and hammer the people out in an emotional state. And now they're handing them an X amount of $1,000 a bill, where our prices are much more reasonable.
That's awesome. Good to hear. Good to hear.
Yep.
And you answered my next question, so I'm going to have to ask it. That's awesome.
Okay.
So right now, what's the biggest issue that you run into as far as running your business here? And what areas do you cover? I mean, do you cover all of Lane County, or do you go outside of it?
Okay. Technically, the biggest issue for me overall, business-wise, is a lot of it, 99% of it's on my shoulders. My wife really does help me out a lot with, I'm technologically challenged. It's not that I don't understand it. I don't have patience for it. So she helps me out a lot of that, helps me with the follow-ups, deals with the CPA and the QuickBooks. So she takes a lot of that stress out of my hands. So right now it's me getting my name out there, getting my reputation built, getting referrals, getting leads. That's the overall big picture. The immediate concern right now is, I'm going to use the word coronavirus. My phone is blowing off the hook with friends, family, former coworkers back in New York, coworkers here. Oh, you're killing it. Aren't you killing it? Aren't you killing it? Well, no, I'm not, because I'm not doing the marketing, and I'm not trying to say I'm some like super upstanding citizen, but ethically, I am a little bit challenged with it, because I believe if I go out and market this, I'm playing into the panic and the fear mongering. I would much rather be viewed as a consultant based upon my past experiences to answer questions, be a source of information, go on scene, help people, train people, just so they can get past the fear and, like realizing, oh, I can do this. I mean, and that's where I view myself as being a better resource than saying, yes, I can come out and proactively clean your facility, charge you $3,500 to $4,000, but as soon as you open your doors, I need to come back because because the place is contaminated. So I'd rather train a manager and his staff so they don't have to call me. I'd rather build a reputation and the referral than come in with the one-time hit and be like, oh, sorry, your doors are open, you're contaminated again.
Yeah, no,
Right.
That's crazy. So my other question, I'll ask that, and then I'm going to go back to the first question.
Yep.
So what's your area? What radius do you cover?
Oh, sorry. Technically, I have everything technically south of Salem for the state of Oregon. There's a man, Phil, and his wife, Angela, in Portland that run BioOne Portland, and they have the Vancouver, Washington area, Portland, all the way, Portland and Oregon down to Salem. These aren't hard boundaries. The biggest thing that I've liked about BioOne is how everyone works together. What is going on behind the scenes on our personal websites, private websites, I should say, how people are all helping each other out with resources, material, chemicals, suits, whatever, because of coronavirus has been amazing. And I was actually one of the people tried to hire me as a consultant to help clean, I forget the name of the military base in Kentucky. Fort Bragg, North Carolina, because that's where he's located. And they wanted to hire me at X amount of dollars a day to go out there because of my background. And I said, I need to get my core business off the ground. I need to deal with the blood, the guts, the rodents, the hoarding. Let me build my business. If I was in business 18 months, 2 years, having someone running my crew, I'd be there tomorrow. And they totally understood. But franchise-wise, it's a large geographic area. So that's why I'm trying to concentrate on my business, get my employee up to speed so I can now market Bend, build a team in Bend, market Medford and build a team in Medford. And then whatever else comes in, Coos Bay, Florence, Blue River, I was about to say Oakway, but I forget the name, the town up 58, I forget the name of it. So I can do those smaller jobs quickly and efficiently.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what was my next question? I just lost it. I was like, I was listening to what you were saying, thinking of all different kinds of things. It's just so interesting to me. So,
right.
So what, where do you see your business in the future? Like just a year from now?
The year from now is hopefully growth, consistent revenue. Right now I'm kind of, I had 2 complete dead months, 0 revenue for January and December and January. Then all of a sudden February came in and February was really good. January so far is not as good as February, but it's starting to be good. I would like to just get a little bit more consistent and get better at my marketing and better at my networking. So I can just kind of, for lack of it, not to say hit cruise control, but just get into a more comfortable space.
Makes sense.
Yep.
So is there anything I haven't asked you that you want people to know? And if not, can you share a little bit more about the coronavirus? Not that I want to make this the topic of our conversation, but just maybe share a little bit more from your perspective on safety and what's going on in our city of Eugene.
All right. I mean, I've been diving deeply into the CDC's websites and the EPA websites. Our franchise group has been doing a really good sharing of information. A lot of it is already out in the media, and it's number 1, wash your hands. Number 2, if you're sick, please stay home. The most at risk are 70 people above 70 who have some sort of respiratory compromise already. And then unfortunately, the elderly who live in group homes, whether it's a nursing care facility, an assisted living facility, and it doesn't even matter the scale, whether it's for lack of a better term, something on the low end or something that's high end. It has to do with the concentration. Because as a franchise, we deal with MRSA, we deal with C. diff, we deal with the norovirus. So we deal with things that burn through these type of communities already. And we'll go into our machines and disinfect the whole area and decontaminate the whole area. And then my biggest personal thing is for people to, not have fear, because the people who are doing the decontamination properly, they're going to be in a certain level of decontamination suit. They're going to have a minimum of an N95 respirator on. They're going to have goggles on. They're going to have gloves on. The seams on your suits should be taped. The seams at your gloves should be taped. Your workers should really be in a safe working environment. But the chemicals that you are using are all safe, whether it's a simple, what's called hypochlorite solution, or what if it's some of the other commercially available. They're all EPA approved. They're all ecologically safe. But as we're going through cleaning it, we rather do it when people are not there. Let the chemicals sit for 10, 15 minutes, air dry, follow through with our other cleaning materials, take that residue off, and then move on. And then again, where the training aspect comes in is now when you reopen for business, hopefully I've gotten you and your staff up to scale where you have the proper cleaning equipment. And at that point, you're literally just using a good pair of gloves, disposable paper towels, a good spray bottle, and you're just consistently cleaning your hands, wiping down the hard surfaces, basically anything that you think that you're going to touch or that people will touch. A big issue, though, has been, I was talking with an owner of a yoga studio. We can come in and treat the carpeting in a yoga studio, but then we have to come in with a steam cleaner to draw out the chemical with the contamination. So then you can actually vision this scaling up to a very large and complicated operation.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yep.
So is there anything that I haven't asked you that you want people to know about your business?
Well, we're available 24/7, 365. You know, our main, again, niche, for lack of a better term, is trauma, crime scene, unattended death. We deal with hoarding. We deal with rodent feces removal, gross filth, gross contamination. And, you know, I'm really looking to build more relationships and helping out than you know, obviously I'm in business to make money, but I'd rather, you know, get $100,000 jobs than the one 10,000 job where I come in, hit it, and leave, and then people are mad. You know, so that's the focus of where I am right now.
Excellent. Well, how can people get a hold of you?
People get a hold of me through info@bioneeugene.com is the email, and then it's bioneeugene.com is the website, and then hoardingeugene.com is the other website.
I just held up your business card too, so has your phone number nice and clear there. So,
great.
Well, it's been a pleasure, Owen. I appreciate you taking the time to talk with me today.
No
and
problem.
This will be posted on our Facebook group page for MEA, and I will send you a copy so you can use it as well.
All right, great, cool. I super appreciate your time, and I'll see you soon.
Yeah, have a good day. All right, we'll talk to you soon.